Well, hello, everybody. I'm Tiffany, and I am the creator of POV Basketball Moms. And what better way to introduce to the world my first interview by interviewing myself, of course. All right, so I would like to start by just telling you a little bit about myself. Um, I'm originally from South Bend, Indiana. South Bend, Indiana, stand up. That's my home. Um, I actually I didn't start playing basketball until fifth grade. Now, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was not one of those people. You know how most of the stories you hear, they're like, oh, Sally was playing, she came out the womb or she picked up her first ball when she was two. No, that was not me. I started playing basketball in the fifth grade and I actually sucked, right? But what I realized, as I got older, it wasn't that I necessarily suck. I had to learn how to develop the gift that I already had. It was actually a gift of mine and a talent that was just lying dormant, and it just God just sent someone to awaken that gift and talent. So then I went on and I played basketball elementary school. I remember in sixth grade, I went to McKinley. All my McKinley Mustangs out there, y'all know who y'all are. Yes, we won the city championship. I still remember the score. It was 27-19. Okay. And then I went to Edison Middle School. And I played under Coach T. I love like my Coach Tolchinsky. Let me backtrack. The first coach I ever played under, his name was Mr. Earl Townsend, who became eventually my stepdad. He taught me a lot, not just about basketball, but life through basketball, if that makes sense. So then I ended up going to Adams High School. I went to Adams High School from freshman year until spring break of my 11th grade year. I literally, my parents, they were looking to move. I didn't know how soon they were looking to move, but being that there are rules that are in place, and I basically, in order for me to be able to play my senior year, I would have already had to have been at Washington High School already. So I ended up having to move. Spring break in my 11th grade year to what from Adams High School to Washington High School. You got to go where your parents go. So that's that. And then I played under Coach Cottons and her husband. It was actually fun. I played with Margaret Batiste. I played with Alice Diamondly. Oh gosh, I played with so many people. Jackie Batiste. Oh my gosh, I can't remember everybody, but I played on that team my senior year, and I ended up graduating, of course. Okay, because my family Jean did not play that. Okay, I graduated, and I actually received a full scholarship to the HBCU Division 1, might I add, in Atlanta, Georgia, Morris Brown. Okay, I went to Morris Brown my freshman year. So excited. I love the culture of Atlanta. Made me feel very proud of who I am. Um, and then they ended up losing their accreditation. So after that, then I found another school. Actually, it was a 2-year college down in Tifton, Georgia. And I ended up playing there. It was called ABAC, Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College. I was playing there, and then the last game of the season, I ended up breaking my finger. Okay, so backtrack. I broke my finger, and mind you, it was only a 2 year. It was a JUCO, right? I right-handed. I broke my right finger, middle finger. Actually, I ain't gonna show y'all because I don't want y'all to think I'm flicking y'all off. I broke my right middle finger, and I couldn't play. Like I said, I had to do all of my homework with my left hand. Um, and so that happened, and then I ended up after that year was over. I had to go back. I had to go back that year and just be a student. And then once I left there, I actually found Emmanuel College, which is located in Franklin Springs, Georgia, which is only 20 to 25 minutes away from UGA, University of Georgia. I ended up going there, and I didn't realize till I was there. I actually the year that I set out when I went back to the JUCO, that counted as my redshirt year. So I played under Coach Bana, um, and then in postseason I ended up tearing my ACL. So I tore my ACL, then I went back, and I actually went back, and I ended up doing some assistant coaching with Coach Bana, and then I graduated from college in 2007. I met my now husband Jay Womack, who was an awesome kid. He listen when I tell you, when I first met him and I seen him playing in that gym, and I asked him, when you gonna play? He was like, I'm red shirting. I said, you ready now? Okay. So my husband was a two-time All-American um, in the conference. So just to give you a little background of basically our talents colliding, and then we create our children. God allowed us to create our three beautiful children, and my son's name is Chacho. Okay, his name is Chacho, um, and that's my bean. Okay, I have this saying, I call them my beans. Okay, my husband is my bean head. Chacho is Beanie. Um, my oldest twin by 1 minute is Pork and Bean, and my youngest daughter is Jelly Bean. So if you hear me say Bean, or you'll know who I'm referring to. So Chacho, he was actually born in August 2009, and from the first time my husband held him, he said he knew something. God spoke to him. And do y'all not know he just now told me what God said like last month? But make a long story short, we tried everything. We tried every sport, y'all. Like, we didn't want to force on him what we wanted him to do. When I tell you, we tried to let him, we showed him soccer. He tried to bounce the ball. We showed him baseball. He tried to shoot the baseball. He did end up playing football, maybe like 2 or 3 years. And when he was younger, third, fourth, second, third, and fourth, or something like that, he did play football. He did take and then at first he did try to throw. He tried to shoot the football until Jay had to show him, like, no, son, that's not easy. That. So he ended up, and then he just always gravitated toward basketball. And we're like, okay, this is what this little boy wants to do. When I tell y'all, my husband was playing in this adult men's league, and we would go there, and he would just sit and watch. Like, I've never seen that before. Like, he would sit and watch. Like an infant, he will sit on my lap and just watch his daddy play. And it's so funny. He would say, "Shoot that ball, daddy, shoot that ball." And he used to say, "Gunk it, daddy, gunk it," trying to say dunk, right? So yeah, that started his journey. And then we actually have pictures. If I can find them, I will let you. I mean, if I could put my fingers on them, I'll try to post them somewhere here. But yeah, we have a picture of him, maybe 7 months old, 8 months old. We always had like basketball goals, or little hoops and around our home, because his mom and dad played basketball. Like, that's how we met. Like, we are legit. Like, I still watch basketball today. Like, Jay still watches basketball. So I'm not just somebody who played. Like, I actually watch it, and I study it, and I love it. So yeah, he at a young age, he always gravitated towards basketball. Always, 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 always. We tried every sport. The only other sport that he actually did, and that he actually tried outside of basketball, was football. He ended up he was playing, I think they called it a tight end, because he ended up, he hasn't stopped growing, but played the tight end. He actually played quarterback. And so, but then he went right back to basketball. So, and then after a while, he's just like, yeah, I'm just play basketball only. So, I just wanted to give y'all an introduction of my child, my one of my children, and he is so serious. Like like I'm, we don't force him. This is just something that he wants to do. Now, my girls, I think they're still trying to figure out exactly what they want to do. I know Pork and Bean, she loves gymnastics, like for sure. She actually taught herself how to do um, a aerial, a uh, back handspring, and she's working on a backflip. Jelly Bean, she seems like she's interested in basketball, but she's not super serious yet. But mind you, I didn't start getting serious to the fifth grade, so I'm starting to feel like they may be following the trend. But yeah, so but my athlete that I'm gonna mostly talk about is my son Chacho, and so yeah, just a little introduction. Um, AAU, he played the first AAU team he played for. Um, Jay actually coached him. Um, then he played for several other ones, and then Jay ended up coming back around full circle, coaching him again. Um, in North Carolina, you can't play on the basketball team until seventh grade. Um, so he ended up sixth grade year went to Piedmont, then he went to for seventh grade year. And that's when I did not know I was going to have to teach him spiritual warfare. Okay. What do I mean? Um, at the beginning of the school year, he was so excited. He was so stoked to go to. It was awesome. The teachers were awesome. And it was all good until basketball season. When basketball season started, the hatred showed up. And that which lets me know it was always there. It just, yeah, I realized I'm missing my earring, y'all. Where it go? Anyway, it was always there. Um, but the hatred. So when I say hatred, mind y'all, I'm a Jesus follower. So I strongly believe that, I mean, we are spiritual beings having a natural experience. So there was a very, very deeply rooted demonic spirit of racism. Okay. Deeply rooted racism. Um, just to give you an example, um, I actually we had to sit him down one day because after one of the games, he was very, very upset, and I could tell he was upset. Um, and basically, this particular game, the team they were playing weren't the best, and they were kind of like beating them pretty easily. And so Chacha was like, "Look, basically people who didn't get to play all the time and start, let y'all rock out," as the young people say. And he went ahead, and after he said that, then another teammate was like, "Oh, well," basically trying to imply like, "Oh, we didn't like when you said that," when in actuality the other captain had said it too, but I guess because of who it was, they didn't respond that way. And so he goes to the locker room, and he's in there, and one of the teammates mentioned this to him, and he says like, "Okay, like such and such said it too, and you say anything to him." And another teammate, so this is kind of like a form of bullying, honestly. Another teammate was like, "Well," he said some graphic words, and my son's just like, "What's up? What you want to do?" And of course, he's gonna play the other child played the victim, right? Like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And so I finally see him, and he's like really upset. He gets in the car. He says, "Mommy, I can't wait till this basketball season over." I was like, now mind you, this is a child who came out the womb wanting to play basketball. I knew then something was seriously wrong. Something was wrong. For him to say that, if something was wrong. And then one thing that I will never forget that he said to me, and it broke my heart. He said to me, he said, "Mommy, I know if I would have beat him up, I would have ruined my future." So this is one of the many things that, as a mom, I'm sure you all have had to deal with, right? Having to deal with, how do I get my child to get back on track emotionally? How do I keep my child from basically spazzing out? Like, how do I keep them from doing that? And it broke my heart because, and it wasn't until after that next day, we had me, Jay and me, we had him sit down, and I drafted an email. I said, look, you're gonna tell me every single thing that has ever happened at that school, verbatim. And just to name a few, another example. So he was at lunchtime, and someone he got the buffalo chicken strips to eat, and a white boy says to him, "Of course you would get the chicken." Um, but I think this one takes the cake. He said he was in a locker room, and one of his teammates asked him for a pass to say the word nigger. They asked Chacho, could he give them a pass to say the word nigger? And of course, Chacho's response was like, "Are you serious? Like, did you really ask me that?" And so now, mind you, this is mental. Now, this is like mental um, abuse, right? This is something that he's dealing with, and I noticed that from the beginning of the year to when basketball started, there was a shift, and it's important that you pay attention to your children's emotions, their mental state. Their mental health is important. I noticed he said, "Oh, mommy, I don't want to go to school today. Can I get a mental health day?" A mental health day? Can I get a mental health day? When your children start asking for that, I need you to dig a little deeper. I need you to find out what's wrong, what's going on, because obviously something is wrong. And then that's where the Lord used me to basically help him to sift through those emotions and peel back the layers of what was happening. This is he would be in class. He told me he would be in class, and there were children who did not attend the game make comments to him like, "You should pass the ball more. You shouldn't shoot as much." So again, what that means to me is his teammates were having conversations about him outside of school, because how else would this student in his class who did not attend the game know, or even where would that come from? Where would that comment come from? So when I tell you, this is something that as a mom I had to deal with when I say spiritual warfare, because in every way they were trying to crush my son's spirit. Now, you may not think it's that deep. I don't care what you think. But I know that everybody is being operated by a spirit. And in that case, that deeply rooted spirit, the demonic spirit of racism, was generational. How do you know? Because obviously they're having conversations at home about this freely. Why would you think it would be okay to ask an African American child to give you a pass to say the word nigger? Like, why, where in your mind do you think that would be okay? And so that's some of the things that was happening. Um, and then I'm gonna make this a part two, because I actually don't want it to be too long. But this is the first quarter of the game, and I'll talk to y'all soon.